I'm just letting you know. We're moving in with my mom and sister. You'd better get ready too. Don't argue with me.
Huh? Wait a minute, I was wondering why you were calling me from work. Living together? At your parents' house? What do you mean?
I said don't argue with me. Don't come at me.
But you're coming at me, aren't you? I've been saying since last year that I don't want to live with them. And in the first place, why are you calling me from work for such an important conversation?
I know you say no if it was in person. I knew you would make a fuss talking about it, so I decided to tell you by text.
I can't. I'm never going to live with them. Your divorced sister is living there now, isn't she? The situation has gotten worse since last year. I definitely don't want to live with them.
Huh? If you would just shut up and listen, are you really my wife?
What?
My mom is divorced. My sister is divorced. There are no men in the house. What are they supposed to do if me, being the eldest son, doesn't go to help them out? A woman who can't even care about that is my wife? It's laughable. How can you complain so much when you're incapable of thinking about family matters?
For me, my family is you and I. Can't take care of my in-laws. Besides, we originally got married on the agreement that we wouldn't live with them. You moved into the apartment I was living in.
I didn't really want to. The apartment we're living in now is not my cup of tea.
Huh?
I didn't really want to live there in the first place. It was a process of elimination.
What do you mean?
The place I was living in was too small for the both of us. I had a nagging father at home, and I didn't want to go back there. Looking for a new place would have been a waste of time and money. So we had no choice but to live in your one-bedroom apartment. In other words, I had no choice about where to live after marriage.
That was the reason? You begged me at first. You said you wanted to live together in the space I lived in. You said if we lived in my place, we wouldn't have to live with them, even if we got married. I believed you and decided to live together with you in my place. Did you deceive me?
Did I say that? Well, I'm a smooth talker. I can say stuff I don't even mean. It's your fault for not being able to tell a lie from the truth.
What kind of person are you?
Anyway, my mom divorced my nagging dad. My dad, who I hated since I was a kid, is gone. There's no reason for me not to go home now. Besides, my mom and sis need me.
And to suddenly move in with them without consulting me, it's really a problem.
So, do you want to get a divorce?
What?
You can't do that, can't you? You can't live without me, can't you? If you don't want to live with them, I can give you the divorce papers. I can take them to the city office today if you like.
Divorce papers? You mean...
Yes, the ones we both signed when we got married.
That was like an insurance policy in case of emergency, right? We filled out the divorce papers beforehand, so that if one of us couldn't continue the marriage, we could file at any time. Don't tell me you made me write them to use to threaten me from the beginning? So even that was deceiving me with smooth talk?
I don't care how you interpret it. We have divorce papers that we can serve anytime we want. That's all.
What a cowardly thing to do.
You see your situation now, don't you? You can't argue with me. If we get divorced, who will lose out?
What do you mean?
Don't forget that you're living on my money, okay? How are you going to live on your own? You don't even have a job. No man would pick a divorced, incompetent woman. If I leave you, you're going to have a miserable life. If you still want that, just get a divorce. It's easy.
Please, just give me a minute. Give me some time to think about it.
Shut up. I'll do the moving in my own time, so don't mess it up. A wife shouldn't rebel against her husband's opinion, especially an incompetent wife like you who does nothing but complain.
Don't be so pushy. Stop saying all this crazy stuff.
Start packing today so you can move out at any time.
No, I'm never living with them.
Oh, by the way, tomorrow is the 1-year memorial anniversary at your parents' house, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I can't make it. I've got some important work I have to do.
What? I told you to keep that day open. What's this urgent business? Is it work-related?
Huh? Why do I have to tell you that? Are you trying to rebel again, huh? Who do you think you owe your livelihood to? If my job disappears, you won't be able to make a living either.
I understand. I have no choice. I'll go alone tomorrow.
You should understand. I'm finally done.
What?
The move.
What? Moving?
Yes, we're moving to my parents' house. We used a contractor, but my mom and sister came to help. It only took 5 hours.
Did you move my stuff out too?
Of course I did. We're living with my mom and sister from tomorrow. If you don't like it, we can divorce.
I just finished the divorce proceedings.
What?
So we're already divorced. I filed the divorce papers.
You said today was your parents' memorial service. That's why I chose this day to move in.
Well, it's too bad about the memorial service, but I told them about the situation, and I didn't attend. So I went to the city office and filed the divorce papers in the morning. They say the sooner the better. I filed first thing in the morning.
Huh? You've got to be kidding me. Do you have any idea what you've done? What the hell are you doing? You're selfish, you idiot, you!
Which one of us is the idiot? Last year you asked me to move in with them. I've been preparing for something like this. I'm glad I acted quickly. If I had asked first, I would have been yelled at. It was a great decision to notify you of the divorce after the fact.
You're telling me you've been preparing for a divorce with me for the past year?
Yes, I have. Yesterday, when you pushed me to move in with them out of the blue, I thought to myself, I knew you would force me to move in with them one of these days. I'm so glad I went through with the divorce today.
Do you really know what divorce means? You're going to have to live without me. You're not going to be able to live without me. You're incompetent. Can you make it?
Incompetent, incompetent, incompetent. You're really annoying. It will be great not to have to listen to that abuse from you anymore. I still had feelings for you before we got married, but after we got married, you became arrogant like a changed man. It was really hard on me.
It was because you're not ready to be a wife. How can you be so cocky? If you're going to apologize, now's the time.
Huh?
Go get down on your knees and apologize to me and cancel the divorce.
I don't want to apologize. Besides, the divorce papers have already been filed. You can't just cancel it. Don't be insane.
Time to get the marriage license. I know it's a hassle, but we have no choice but to get married again. You're really making me go through a lot of trouble.
Huh? Who's going to marry you?
You, of course.
No, no, no. I divorced you because I don't like you. Why would I marry you again? I'm so relieved to be divorced. You've got to be kidding me. It's not funny, it's just offensive.
So you're really going to divorce me?
I'm not going to, I already did. We're strangers as of 9 a.m. today. You're a stranger, so don't act like you're my husband.
You can't just do that. Are you sure you're okay with that? Can you live without me?
Yes, I can.
Too bad. I don't have your apartment anymore, okay?
Huh? Did you cancel the lease by any chance?
Yes, I did. I gave 1 month's notice, and today was the moving day.
You've been planning to move in with them for such a long time.
That's right.
The apartment is in my name. What happened to the paperwork?
I, the husband, went ahead and did the paperwork. A wife's papers are as good as the husband's. I'm the boss, so to speak. So it's okay for me to sign them on your behalf, right?
That's a crime, right?
Huh?
It's forgery of a private document.
Say what? You gonna threaten me with that? Don't do it. You don't have a home anymore. The only way is for you to marry me again and live with me at my parents' place.
That's not true.
Huh?
I mean, thank you for canceling the contract.
Huh?
I was going to cancel too, but you saved me the trouble. Well, that doesn't change the fact that it's a crime, but I'm glad you did it on my behalf.
You were going to cancel? Don't tell me you have a new house.
Yes, I do. I just signed a contract. It's a furnished apartment and I can move in immediately. It's a girls-only apartment, so it's very clean and pretty. There are no abusive old men like you in the neighborhood, and the next-door neighbor is a quiet office worker, so it's very comfortable.
What? Wait a minute, what do you mean?
You didn't get it from that? You don't understand. It means I have a new home. It means I'm not going back to that apartment.
Even if you have a house, what about your life?
I have a job though, right?
Huh? You were a stay-at-home wife. What's with the job?
Actually, I'm a certified caregiver.
A caregiver?
Yeah, we were married for a year and a half, but I saw your transformation right from the start. A year ago, you approached me about moving in together with your mom. I figured one day I'd be on my own and we'd get divorced. So I took a correspondence course and got my nursing license. I thought it would be the best way to go from being a stay-at-home wife to getting a job, so...
A nursing care certification? That's great, isn't it?
Huh?
Mom says she's getting a little frail. She'll say scary things like she's starting to go senile. If you're qualified to be a caregiver, then there's nothing to be scared of. So then come back and take care of her. I forgive you for divorcing me without my permission and for making fun of me. Just get the marriage registered and go back to being a housewife in our home.
I refuse. I didn't qualify for my mother-in-law. I got certified for myself, for my independence plan.
You're too lousy to have had such a cocky plan.
Which one of us is worse? You were planning to have us move in with your mother without my knowledge. You were going to make me your housekeeper anyway.
You're my wife. The wife is the housekeeper. A housewife means wife and housekeeper, right?
You suck. I'm glad I got a job.
Huh?
There's a nursing home near my new house that's looking for qualified candidates. I called them and they said to come right away. I'm on the verge of being hired and I was just on my way to go to an interview.
Wait a minute, there's no way you can work. You're too incompetent to go work in the real world. Before going out and making trouble for people, you should just quietly come back and be a housewife.
Wow, I'm surprised that you have the concept of causing trouble for others. I'm so surprised.
Then come back.
I don't know what's wrong with you. I've told you many times that I don't want to live with you, and we're already divorced. Don't pester me anymore.
You think I'm just gonna give up? I've already promised my mom and sister. I told them that you would do all the housework so they can enjoy themselves. Think about the position you're putting me in.
I don't need to think about it. I'm not your housekeeper or your personal caregiver. I'm an unrelated stranger.
Okay. If you're gonna be like that, then there's something I can do. You're still not coming back, are you?
No, I'm not coming back, no matter what you say.
Then I'll file for compensation, so watch out.
What? Compensation? On what basis?
I've been taking care of you and making a living for you. It's a consolation prize for divorcing me without permission and betraying me.
You can't ask for compensation for that.
No, I will show you. And as for the money I've given you for living expenses up to now, I'll ask for half of it back.
Living expenses? What are you talking about?
Monthly living expenses of $1,500 times 18 months divided by 2 equals $13,500. You're going to have to pay this too, promptly and in full.
You're too stupid to talk to. Oh, I'm exhausted. It takes so much energy to talk to someone who doesn't understand. I can't believe we're talking the same language.
Go ahead and be exhausted. I'm going to call a lawyer and sue you. If you don't like it, come back.
I don't want to go back, so do what you want. You can call your lawyer or whatever you want. Bye.
I'll make sure you regret it. Just wait and see. Hey, what's going on?
What's the matter? You're getting on my nerves. We just finished talking. I'm exhausted. I don't want to be tired anymore.
That's my line. You're harassing me. It started again.
What do you mean?
A guy saying he was Merle's agent came to my house. He just gave me a notice and left. I don't understand the situation at all.
What? Already? I admire people who work fast. I'm going to have to learn from him.
I don't care about any of that. Are you suing me?
That's right.
Don't be silly. I'm suing you.
Well, you know, that bullshit about compensation and stuff, right? Like I said, you can do whatever you want. That's if you have a lawyer who's willing to deal with that joke of a case.
Huh?
My case was accepted right away. I asked for a lawyer with a good reputation. I didn't expect them to act so quickly. I guess they move faster when the case is clearly favorable to them. Wow.
I mean, what's $50,000 in compensation?
It's for the emotional pain I went through in my marriage with you.
There's no way I'm paying that kind of money. I mean, if we're talking about compensation, you pay it. You have some nerve coming to me with a claim.
Okay, fine. I don't care. I'll sue you and get you to officially pay me the fee and reimbursement.
Huh?
You canceled my apartment without my permission. I'm suing you for forgery of private documents.
You said thank you. You said you were going to cancel it anyway.
Yes, but the fact that you cancelled the lease without my consent is a crime, so I'm suing you. Let the legal system will determine who's the one acting unreasonably and who has some nerve. Arguing amongst ourselves won't get us anywhere.
What a woman. Go ahead and sue me if you can. I'll probably just get a little warning anyway.
Then I'll sue for all of it.
All of it?
You moved out at 1. I checked with the movers.
What about it?
We were unrelated by 9 that day. You went into someone else's house and moved someone else's stuff out. That's trespassing.
Huh? That's not even...
And since you made such a mess when you moved out, the floor and walls of the apartment are badly damaged from furniture being dragged. I heard it's considered destruction of property.
Wait a minute. That's being too detailed.
Also, for my stuff that you took without my permission, I'll file a claim for damages. That's what happens when you steal someone else's stuff.
You're kidding. That's what's going to happen?
Even if each crime is a small one, you'd be considered a great premeditated criminal, and the punishment could be severe. I'm sure you'll pay either way, so thank you for the $50,000.
I don't even have $50,000 to begin with. You know I don't have that kind of money, right? And yet, you're stupid enough to ask me for such a large sum of money? You can't get what I don't have, so this case is over. That's what happens when you're incompetent and greedy.
I'm not sure why you're being so overbearing. Of course I have planned to collect, right?
There's no plan.
You have your parents' house.
Huh?
If you sell your parents' house, you can get the money, can't you?
You're trying to take our house away from us? What a horrible woman.
You and your family are even more horrifying, including your mother and your sister, who helped you. You're a fine criminal family. I shudder to think that I was about to be forced to live with such people.
It's because you didn't listen to me, even though you're my wife. And yet, you go ahead and do something like this? I didn't approve of a divorce in the first place.
It was you that prepared the papers so they could be filed at any time, wasn't it? I just took the liberty of filing them for you. The process went very smoothly. Thank you very much. My husband's family, who I had all the evidence on to charge them with numerous criminal acts, were immediately arrested after my lawyer and I reported the incident to the police. In order to pay reimbursement and compensation to me, my ex-mother-in-law cried to her own ex-husband and asked him to come up with $50,000 from his retirement fund he had. The condition for the payment was that my ex-father-in-law and mother-in-law remarry and live together. Therefore, my ex-husband was forced to live with his father, whom he hated so much. He has no money to leave the house, so he has no say in the matter. I think he now understands a little better how it feels to be forced to live with someone he doesn't want to live with. After the divorce, I became immersed in my work like a fish taking to water. Although there are many hardships, being a caregiver was my calling, as I felt appreciated and rewarded by the patients. Furthermore, someone at work suggested that I remarry someone they wanted to introduce to me. I plan to go on a date with him next week.
Susan, can you send an additional $2,000 this month? I want to buy a new uniform for Daniel. What? An additional $2,000? I just sent this month's allowance last week. That's why I'm asking for more now. Daniel has grown so much recently, and he needs a new uniform. Please spare some money for your adorable grandson. I'd like to help, but an extra $2,000 is really too much. Can't you find another way to manage? Huh? Are you really turning down your daughter-in-law's request? I've already been giving you $1,000 every month, you know. I really can't afford to give you any more than that. Hey, Helen. I wonder if you can actually manage without my support. What do you mean by that? Are you trying to say that you don't want to support your son and me anymore? I've been sending you $1,000 every month for 10 years now. It's not unreasonable to think that your life should be stable by now. Don't you think you might be able to live without relying on my support? Don't I think we might be able to live without relying on your support? It's because of David, your son. When he failed to change jobs, we started struggling financially, and that's why you began sending us money. And now you want to just abandon that responsibility? As David's mother, do you really plan to leave us high and dry? Helen, our child has grown up, and it was supposed to be a career change to increase our income. That's why I supported David's career change too. But the company he finally joined faced a recession and poor performance right away. In the end, his salary went down, and it's causing us a lot of trouble. You don't have to say it's a bother, you know. There's nothing we can do about the recession and the poor performance, and it's not David's fault. He's even working hard for his family. I heard he's even getting a promotion soon. You don't understand at all, Susan. Even if David gets promoted, it doesn't mean his salary will increase. That's why we still need the usual financial support. What? Really? The recession is still going on. Even with a promotion, the salary remains the same. It's the worst kind of promotion with only increased responsibilities. I didn't know that. I thought getting promoted would increase the salary and improve our lives. Far from improving, our household is in a constant financial crisis. So, I'm asking for additional financial support. Because of David, we can't afford to buy a new uniform for our son. You, as his mother, should take responsibility for that. By the way, do you have any plans to work part-time? If things are that tight, why don't you work and help out? I've explained this so many times. To support my overworked and underpaid husband, I have no choice but to be a full-time housewife. My son Daniel only cares about soccer and leaves all the housework to me. I can't work even if I want to. Well, all right. I'll send the additional money next time, and I'll contact you again. Grandma, sorry for the sudden request, but can I stay at your place at the end of the month? I want to come and visit you on the weekend. Just me. Of course, you're welcome. But what's the occasion? Actually, I got invited to practice with the college team. It seems someone from the college saw my soccer game the other day. They asked if I'd like to practice with them. That's amazing, Daniel. That means you're being scouted, right? It's too early to say that, Grandma. But depending on my performance, there might be a chance of being scouted. That's why I really want to go, but the college is far from home. But it's super close to your place, Grandma. Oh, really? It's only a 50-minute walk from your place. So, can you let me stay the night before? I can't make it even if I catch the first train in the morning. Of course, you're always welcome to stay. Don't hesitate to come over. Yay! You're the best, Grandma! Thank you! But make sure you get permission from your dad and mom, okay? I'll get permission from dad since mom is such a hassle. No matter how many times I ask, mom just won't agree. It's so annoying. Really? That's rough. It's so mean to say I can go if I can catch the first train. She keeps nagging me not to owe Grandma anything. Well, she doesn't have to worry. I'm not doing this to owe her a favor or anything. I'm actually happy to have my precious grandson stay over. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't you come and watch me practice, Grandma? I might get to play in the practice match. And I'll be wearing the new shoes Dad bought me. Wow, you got something nice from your dad. Dad has been super generous lately since he's gonna get promoted. Did you know about Dad's promotion, Grandma? He might become the vice president of the company. Vice president? I heard about the promotion, but I didn't know it was such a big deal. He's been really generous since his salary will increase, buying me whatever I want. Thanks to that, I got not only shoes, but also a bag. Wow, really? Dad is generous, and Mom is in a good mood every day. My club activities are going well too. Life's just great! Daniel? I just want to confirm. Is your dad really becoming the vice president and getting a raise? Helen mentioned that your family has been struggling with no salary increase for a long time. What's that? In my family, Mom is the most excited. She keeps talking about being the president's wife someday, and it's so noisy. She's asking Dad for all kinds of things every day. Oh dear, maybe I misunderstood then. Well, I'm counting on you for the end of the month. I'm looking forward to eating your homemade meal again, so please make a huge dinner. Hey, Susan, when are you gonna transfer the extra money for living expenses? I've been waiting forever. Well, it's a good time that you've reached out. I have a question for you, Helen. Huh? You have a question for me? It's about David's promotion. The story I heard seems to be different. He's being promoted to vice president and his salary is increasing accordingly. Apparently, your lives have improved quite a bit. What are you talking about? Who told you such a ridiculous story? Daniel did. He said David is being very generous and you're in a good mood every day. What? Daniel told you that, Susan? To be honest, you don't really need the $1,000 I've been sending you anymore, right? And yet, you're still asking me for an additional $2,000. This is the worst. I thought I could keep this going a bit longer. I never thought my son would spill the beans. I should have told Daniel to keep his mouth shut. Huh? Well, since you found out, it doesn't matter anymore. I'll just leave it at that. Hold on a second. What's with that attitude? You should be apologizing to me first. Why do I need to apologize? I haven't done anything wrong. You are trying to trick me out of $1,000 a month, and you have the nerve to say that? If Daniel hadn't told me, you'd have kept taking money from me forever, right? What's wrong with that? Huh? It's a fact that David failed his job change 10 years ago. It's also a fact that I, his wife, have been struggling ever since. So, I just wanted to get some payback by taking a little more money from you. You're talking about the $120,000 I've given you over the past 10 years, right? You've taken that much money from me, and you still want to get payback by taking even more? My life has been really hard because David's salary decreased. Your $1,000 a month didn't even begin to cover it. Compared to all the hardship I've been through, it's not a big sum at all. What? That's a small amount of money. Just so you know, I'm not grateful for your financial support. I don't owe you anything for just $1,000 a month. Don't get all high and mighty. Fine, Then I'll stop sending you money. Go ahead. My husband is gonna be a vice president. We don't need your money. In fact, you'll regret it later, Susan. Not me. I'll regret it? Yeah, you're missing out on a chance to get on the good side of your eldest son's wife. You know, mothers-in-law who don't do that end up alone and miserable in their old age. Don't come crying to us when you are all alone. Actually, Mom, you're the one who's going to be alone. What? This is terrible. No, it's the worst. What the hell is this? The fact that this person is my biological mother, it's so disgusting that it makes me feel sick. Huh? No way! Is that you, Daniel? Why is Daniel texting from Susan's phone? Yeah, it's me. I came to drop off some stuff at Grandma's house because I'm staying here for practice session at college next weekend. What? Hold on a second, Daniel. I told you not to stay at your grandma's house. Shut up, you old hag. Who are you to tell me what to do when you've been nothing but a burden to Grandma? Old hag? What kind of attitude is that, talking to your parent like that? What do you mean, parent? You're just a damn old hag. Don't act all high and mighty like you're a good mother. What the hell are you talking about? You always tell me that the only reason I can dedicate myself to soccer is because of the support from our family. You tell me not to forget to be grateful to those who support me. But what kind of attitude do you have towards Grandma, huh? What? No, even as a high schooler, I know how much $1,000 a month is. And you've been taking that every month for 10 years, and you call it small amount of money? How dare you say that? First, you should say thank you, and then thank you again, and then thank you again. That's all you should be saying from start to finish. Seriously, I'm so disappointed in you, Mom. From today, I'm gonna live at Grandma's house. What? No way! There's no way I'm living with you, witch. I believe I've been able to keep playing soccer because of Grandma. When Dad was struggling, Grandma covered the cost of my soccer expenses. She bought me new shoes and a ball. I'll never forget her kindness. That's why I'll make sure she won't be alone as my way of repaying her. What are you talking about? How are you gonna manage high school if you live at Grandma's house? The distance is barely doable by taking the first train. I'm fine with that. I'll catch the first train to school every day. It's better than living with you, that's for sure. I can't believe this! Don't ever come near me again as a mother. I'll never forgive you for hurting Grandma. I apologize for my rude behavior last time. Can you please let me talk to Daniel just once? He really hasn't come home since that day, and I can't even get in touch with him. Daniel is studying right now. He's managing his time well, even with the long commute. So, please don't disturb him. Why are you acting like Daniel's mother? I'm his mother. Just because you have my son on your side now doesn't mean you can get carried away. That's not my intention. Anyway, Daniel will come back home eventually. He'll get tired of taking the first train to school and give up. Besides, you won't be able to cover his college tuition, Susan. Your savings must be empty after supporting your eldest son's family so much, right? With your meager savings and pension, you won't be able to help Daniel. Well, my son will take care of that. He's planning to move back here too, so don't worry. What? Wait, your son? You mean David? I don't know how much you've fabricated the story when talking to David, but Daniel has explained everything to him. After hearing the truth, David contacted me saying he's getting a divorce and moving back to his childhood home. What? I couldn't be happier. Both my grandson and son kindly say, "We won't leave you all alone." I couldn't help but shed tears of joy. Wait a minute! What do you mean he's getting a divorce? Do you mean David is going to leave me? That can't be possible as a married couple! Unbelievable! Not only did you deceive your mother-in-law, but you also deceived your own husband. What? David didn't know that I'm still sending you $1,000 every month, did he? His company finally recovered its performance after 5 years, and his salary increased. And you lied to him that you had my support stopped. Oh, no, that's... So, Helen, for the past 5 years, where did my $1,000 per month disappear to? It was important money that I had prepared by dipping into my savings and pension. Well, I, of course, used it for household expenses. Actually, I wanted to stop receiving your support, but even with a higher salary, our household budget was still tight. So I just, forgot to tell David. I see. I understand your point of view, Helen. But don't forget that my grandson and my son are on my side. We'll find out if you are really using the money for household expenses or not by investigating everything. I've already received numerous tip-offs from Daniel. For example, you often buy luxury brand items. You've stopped driving him to club activities and competitions, and instead, you give him $100 for taxi fares. What? He's already told you that much? This is your last chance, Helen. What did you really spend my support money on? I'm truly sorry. I foolishly spent the money you gave me, Susan. So, you really did spend it on things. Like buying a lot of brand items, eating luxurious lunches, buying beauty devices, and going to spas. I used it all. I'm truly, truly sorry. Thank you for your honest apology. So, what are you gonna do next? I hope you don't think this is over just by apologizing. Of course, I'll repay all the money. I'll start working part-time and pay you back with my own earnings. So please, I beg you, help me prevent my divorce from David. Excuse me? I don't want to divorce David. After all, he just became a vice president. If I stay with him, I could become the wife of the company president. I absolutely don't want to get divorced now. You think I'll be happy to help you? If you help me, I'll take care of everything for you in your old age. I'll even provide caregiving. So please, please help me avoid getting a divorce. I'm sorry, Helen, but I have to refuse your request. What? I have no obligation to help a daughter-in-law who has never taken care of me. I've already prepared for my old age separately from the savings I used for you. No way! I don't want to be taken care of by someone my grandson calls a hag. So, Helen, take care and have a good talk with your husband about your son. Helen and David eventually divorced, and Helen was kicked out of their home. Thanks to Daniel, their son, who said, "I don't need any money from her, just return the money to Grandma," Helen had to write a pledge to repay the misused money in $1,000 installments every month. We also had a written agreement. I hope she will be able to understand my struggle to save that money by working and earning money by herself. After selling their house, David gave me the proceeds, saying, "This is to thank you for everything. Please use it as additional funds for your retirement." I decided to use the money to join a local gym. To support my busy son and grandson, and to live a long life, I must stay healthy.